A common challenge for innovation teams is identifying what changes you can test to improve a process or product. And one great tool to help you break down ideas is called the cause and effect diagram. It's also known as the fishbone diagram. Cause and effect diagrams encourage a systematic approach to identifying risks that looks beyond the obvious causes of a problem. The starting point for creating each diagram lies in identification of a problem. So when constructing the diagram, this is known as the effect that you can see on the right-hand side of the diagram. The bones display the types of variables that might play a role in the root cause of the problem. So let's take a look. We got some tips for use. So causes are usually grouped into major categories. The common categories include people. This is anybody who has a role or a function with a process. Now, in about 2 minutes, I'm going to use SimTech as an example, so this will make more sense. The process itself, the way the process or method is done, or a set of procedures. The equipment, the tools used to perform that process. Materials, the raw ingredients necessary for the process. Management, the way that various processes are maintained and managed. And the environment, or the location and situation and context under which the process is performed. So we can generate those causes, those major causes, from brainstorming activities, and then we can group them and use them as labels on the fishbone diagram. So let's take a look at an example. So as you can see here, we're using the standard tangible product causes, okay? People, process, management, equipment, materials, and environment. Over here, we would list the problem or the main effect, because these causes are leading to this effect. So, how to use? The first thing we want to do, of course, we need to define the problem statement. Okay, remember Albert Einstein said if I had an hour, I'd spend 55 minutes understanding the problem. Create a statement that explains exactly what the problem is and how and when it occurs. So this should be added to that head of the diagram, and that represents the fish's head. Make sure your team agrees on how the problem is being defined before you go any further, right? Then we decide on categories or major causes for the problem. So for example, if you're trying to diagnose a problem with software, you might look at the users, the software itself, marketing. But for a physical, tangible product that we're dealing with, that's where you include your people, your process or methods, management, equipment, materials, or the environment. Of course, we always want to keep it simple, so keep the main root causes low. So then we list out the root causes to each of that main cause. So for example, people would have a number of root causes attached to it. So once you have those main root causes, it's time then to brainstorm and list out all of the individual causes for each main cause. So this is helpful to break down a complex problem. You want to list them and then vote on them. Okay, keep them nice and concise. These become the bones of the fish, which you can then use as a basis for diagnosing that root cause of the problem. So we're also going to look at the 5 whys next, because obviously that helps you dig deeper and uncover new potential causes. So after you've done that, you've got to agree on the next steps and outcomes. Okay, like any good meeting, it's only as good as you follow up, right? So we need to write down actions and responsibilities and the following steps to take to mitigate the problem. It always helps to establish deadlines and assign tasks to your team members. So this template, the cause and effect diagram, sheds light on a problem and brings new insights.